Welcome to the 5-5 energies, beautiful friend. This has been a crazy time. We just wrapped up yesterday's 9-9 energy, and today we're in the 5-5 portal at its peak. Now, this is going to be good for the next couple of days, but this is a very transformational time for change, new cycles beginning, and culminations of old cycles that are meant to be done. The 9-9 energy of the 4th of May yesterday was very, very strong for completion energy, double completion energy. And you've probably been feeling the shifting of timelines occurring in your world. So I want to give you some guidance today of how to maximize these energies in terms of what to be on the lookout for, as well of how you may be standing fully in your light, but then how sometimes our shadows might be playing out today. And when the energies are wonky, that is what can happen. So we're going to use my Archetype Alchemy Oracle deck to channel for you today and see how, as a collective, we may be showing up. What is the dominant archetype for the beautiful friends watching this video? The dominant archetype for today. Interesting, we're getting the expert in the light. This is someone who knows a lot about a lot, and especially in one area of their lives. So when we think about the archetypes, these are such a powerful tool. You guys have been around my extended readings for years. You've probably had personal readings, personal sessions with me. I've been working extensively with archetypes very much in my work, and it's one of the most powerful tools to reflect on self and on relationships. And we can see when we see ourselves through the lens of the archetypes, we can see how we play different characters in different scenarios. We may have our base archetypes that we are here to embody and embrace and master. And at the same time, when we're put in different situations, we may show up as a different type of character, a different archetype, based on the dynamics of those other people who are involved, based on the lessons we're meant to be learning in those situations and experiences. And so using the archetypes as a lens through which to reflect on self, as well as do a deeper dive into understanding the dynamics that happen amongst people and the soul's journey is extremely, extremely powerful. It's been such a pivotal thing for my clients and myself personally, which is why I have developed this Archetype Alchemy Healing system. Now, I am opening up a second mentorship group. We're going to get into this expert here in a minute, but stay tuned to the end because I will be giving some details on that. But I have made available to those of you that are part of this group to have a virtual version of this. Now, it's very rustic, but I've found a way to give you the opportunity to use this deck virtually without having it in your hot little hands. But I did just announce that I am about to do another run once I get a minimum order. So you can pre-purchase and grab your copy of this. It should be sometime this month that I will be shipping them out, but it will be just to US customers only. I apologize. International shipping is crazy right now, and I'm hoping to figure out logistics for that. But let's talk about the expert. So the expert is someone that possesses not only book knowledge on a certain topic, but they also have applied it. And so they have the wisdom that comes from experience. They can be a respected authority in an area, and they have lots of experience over many years, but they're also open to constantly learning. So what this feels like, actually, I'm going to add a couple more here. Okay. This is perfect. This is so perfect. You guys, all right. So I pulled 4. So we have the expert, the introvert, the dreamer, and the engineer. We've got 2 in the shadow, 2 in the light. We're going to dive into what this means. So what this means is the way we are shining our light is this is almost like those of us that have been honing our craft and mastering our gifts, whatever form that takes, we have been somewhat in the shadows, or we've been keeping a lot of those gifts hidden, or at least the extent to which we have these gifts hidden. And what's happening right now, though, is that those gifts that we have maybe been mocked for, or shamed for, or ostracized for, our beliefs, our gifts, our values, our views on the universe, it's almost like those are about to start becoming relevant to everyone else. They're going to be turning to us for the information, for the knowledge, because we have walked the walk before others have joined in the party. And it's almost like there's going to be a universal need for those of us with this knowledge, that possess the knowledge that we do. Others will be turning to us and looking to us for answers, looking to us to find the solutions. Because with the expert and the engineer in the light, this to me indicates that it's important to have knowledge, to solve problems, to make things happen, to change systems, right? Globally, we know a lot of the systems are shifting, financial systems across the world. A lot of things are underway. And this is when the light workers of the world are going to be the ones to help to create the new way of being, the new way of doing things. And maybe because it's more like it's time now. Because with the engineer, I'll just read what it says here. They like to create structure. They're very organized, very process oriented. They can follow blueprints. They understand how things work, and they know how to build things that work for a purpose. And they're able to turn their ideas into things systematically. So it's like, I have an idea, and here's how I'm going to execute on that idea. So don't be surprised if you've been trying to figure out a solution to something in your life. Around this portal, you might suddenly get a massive download of, oh, this is how it's going to work. This is how I'm going to do it. This is how I'm going to approach it. Because it's like, if you've been feeling like you have this vision in your brain of how you want your life to be, or how you want your career to be, how you want your family to be, but you haven't known exactly how to do it, this portal is going to be bringing you very, very beautiful opportunities and downloads to be able to make them a tangible reality. And there's obviously a very much of a mental energy here. But the mental energy combined with sacred wisdom and even universal wisdom to solve problems feels very Arcturian to me. So that's part of what we have happening here. But then we're getting these two in the shadow, the dreamer and the introvert. So do you see how these are somewhat very sort of different? Like the introvert and the dreamer, it's like we might feel we're afraid to come out of hermit mode, first of all. Also that we can feel very ungrounded. So just to read what these say, and I'm going to pull some aspect cards. This is another part of the system here, is getting more deep into these archetypes. So in this mentorship group, by the way, we're just wrapping up the very first one I did. It's been an incredible success. There's been major breakthroughs that these amazing souls have come together. And our 4 weeks together is quickly coming to an end, but it has been a very magical and powerful time learning how to view things through the archetypes, how to use them in our day-to-day lives, how to use them as a tool and a portal. This deck is a portal, a multi-dimensional portal. And I've been teaching these beautiful friends how to use this for their highest and best, to navigate through the world and situations and relationships and all that good stuff. And it's been really incredible. So if you're interested in participating, there is a limited number. A few have already signed up. I think there's only 6 or 7 spots left. Very small group. So I switched the groups to Sunday so that those of you working during the week can participate, because the last one was on Wednesdays. So anyway, back to the dreamer and the introvert. So when the dreamer is in the shadow, it's someone who can be ungrounded, unrealistic at times. They may not be aware of the practical implication or application of what they're thinking of, right? It's like they're dreaming, they're thinking about it, but then they're not sure the practical implications of what they're dreaming about, which is interesting because we do have the engineer. So the engineer has an element of the dreamer archetype within it. The engineer is like, they dream it up, but then they make it happen. So the fact that I really like that the engineer is the one that's in the light is overpowering the shadow here. But to me, that presents the opportunity for this portal, is making your dreams a reality. So let's get the dominant aspect of the dreamer in the shadow. What is the dominant aspect here? Teen. Okay. So this means that we're going to be learning from our mistakes and our successes. It's like we're going to try things on and we're going to say, ooh, that didn't work this time, but oh, that really worked, so maybe I'll do it next time. The teen aspect can also relate to sometimes where we can, it's like the stage of development of learning the lesson around that archetype. So the teenager can sometimes in the moment, and this is why the dreamer's here, in the moment might actually forget temporarily the consequences of what they're about to do. They don't even think that way, right? The teenager's brain is not wired to think through 5 steps ahead. And so what I feel like here is just be aware of, as you're trying to find solutions and to situations and making them a reality, that you do take some time to just get grounded. Just get grounded, because I feel like the energies are kind of floating us up more into the potential to be impulsive and not think things through enough. But it's not to tame the dreamer in us. It's just to realize that when we connect to the dreamer energy, sometimes when we try it, it doesn't work out. But because we're in the teenage phase, it means that we're learning by doing. And the doing might be more impulsive than someone who's in the adult phase, right? Someone who's been through enough that they're a little bit more earthed and like, oh no, I know what happened last time I did that. So this to me implies we're excited, but we might not be thinking through things very much. And then we get to the introvert. So the introvert in the shadow is someone who isolates or overdoes it. They can deny self-care. They feel obligated to be social even if they're tired. So they can speak before they've processed their thoughts and feelings due to pressure in the moment. So here's a big, I don't want to say warning, but heads up. Okay, oh, my camera's shifting as I'm doing this. Sorry, guys. Be very careful. Do not feel like you need to explain yourself to everybody. It's none of their business what you think or why you're thinking it or what you're doing. It is not your business to share your dreams or your visions because you're excited about it. Don't be forced to say something before you've processed. Remember, the introvert is someone who has to process before they speak, versus the extrovert, they process while they're speaking. It's like when they're speaking, they try it on for size and go, ooh, that doesn't quite feel right. And then they say something else like, oh, that feels a little better. The introvert, when the introvert is forced to speak before they've processed, that's when they get into trouble. And I know this one myself very much, is I have learned that lesson. So don't feel like you need to be social. Some people are like, oh, say go to Mayo, go have fun. If you're not in the mood, be very careful who you socialize with and who you share your dreams with. It's none of their business. None of their business. So what's the dominant aspect of the introvert? Okay, environment. So this means that there could be somebody in our environment who has been hermiting or isolating and not taking care of themselves. Because the introvert, when they're upright in the light, they're thoughtful, they're deliberate in action, they're inward focused. They get energy from solo time to recharge. They know how to take time to process before responding and acting. So when I'm getting the dominant aspect is the environment, this could be someone around you who's exhibiting the introvert, who has failed to take care of themselves, or they're hermiting too much, or they are kind of in that energy of being too much, or our perception of them is that they're introverted, right? It can be their reality, but it can also just be our perception. Let me get a secondary aspect of the introvert. Tell me how this person in the environment is expressing the introvert in the shadow. It's an aspect of self as well. So it's someone in your environment might be reflecting this back to you. So I'm going to get another card on the introvert to add another layer to this. Tell me why the introvert is here. The High Priestess. So, okay. The dreamer, the High Priestess, the engineer, and the expert. But the High Priestess is in the light, which is someone who is connected to the other realms and has ancient wisdom. They have the ability to know things that others don't. They're very discerning with information. See, that's what I was saying. Don't tell people your dreams. They're the sacred feminine aspect of spiritual connection. They understand mystical powers and gifts. They respect universal laws of free will and non-interference. So this is a situation where this is an interesting one because it's also showing up in the environment. So if you're tempted to try to help someone who maybe isn't taking care of themselves and they've gone into hermit mode, you don't chase them. She knows it's not worth it. She knows it's not her place. She knows the universal laws of free will and non-interference. So people are going through it really, really a lot right now, across the board. I don't have any conversations with anybody where someone's not going through something major. But this is where we must allow them their process, and don't force people to speak about it. Not that you would, but it's best not to make them speak before they're ready. So allowing someone their own inner journey is very important. So with this, I'm going to get some guidance, final guidance. But before I give the guidance, just quickly on this Archetype Alchemy mentorship group. All recordings are live. It's limited to 10 people. If there is sold out when you try to join, put a comment below or email me and say you're interested for the next one. I may put another one together. I want to keep these groups small because it is a lot of one-on-one dialogue, and the group really does get to know each other. And the way that this group I've been working with has been showing up is really, really powerful in their authenticity. You know, this is a group of people literally from all over the world who haven't known each other, and they have been so supportive and welcoming to others as they share. And everyone keeps commenting how when I work with one on their archetypes, everyone gets something out of it. It's not an accident that certain groups are brought together. And I do teach, I don't just pull the cards for you, although you do get a reading as part of the mentorship group. You do get a free reading included, a full reading, using the cards as well as other things to really set the tone for our time together. It's not a requirement that you own the deck to be a part of it. If you'd like to buy the deck, then there will be an opportunity to do that. In fact, it's available now. I'll put the link below. If you want to pre-order, again, US customers only. I will be shipping them out personally once I place the order, but given if there's a lot of people, then it will happen sooner. It should be within this month, but within May. that you should get it. And that is in order for the deck. But if you join the mentorship group, you do have the ability to use a rustic but virtual version of the deck. And I know that's been really helpful. I put it together for this mentorship group because I figured out a way to do it. So I was super excited. Anyway, all info is down below. It's been a really beautiful experience to connect with you one-on-one, even more so than in our activations. Those are wonderful, but these are all on camera on Zoom. So everyone's getting to know each other, and it's been a really supportive and beautiful group of souls. So thank you for those of you that are part of that, for lending your light. And lastly, and one of the things we talk about is once we know what the shadow is what do we do about it? How do we use that knowledge and to transmute it? And that's a lot of what I'm also covering in that mentorship group as well. So what is the final guidance for this portal energy? Chop wood. Interesting. That's all about doing the work. Not an accident, because we do have the engineer putting in the effort, doing the work. And I'll read what this says. It's card number 42, for those of you who like the numerology. So the message says, being grounded in everyday experience and humility. There are times when the big dream is meant to lie dormant in your consciousness so that you can pay attention to the simple chores in your life. Consider why pruning a tree is the forerunner of delighting in the beautiful blooms when it is in full blossom. The mundane act of putting off dead leaves, watering the soil, and leaving it be and let nature take its course is an important step in manifestation. Taking your attention away from your goal brings you into a deep state of receptivity, and this is the deeper purpose for releasing attachment. When you engage in everyday tasks in a meditative, contemplative way, you clear your energy and receive your aha moments, which brings you ever closer to what you seek. All about the dreamer too. So what we're saying here is that release the expectation and the attachment to how it's going to go. But do the work. Do the tasks that you've been putting off. And that's so crazy I'm saying that right now, because I have just done that yesterday and Saturday. I had these really heavy, overwhelming tasks I had to do that were not fun. And I finally just rolled up my sleeves and I did it. So this is a really good energy to do that kind of stuff in, right? Because it weighs on us energetically. It like hangs over our heads. It's like, let's do it. Let's do it. Just get it done. Because what you realize is once you sweep up the dust, how much lighter you feel. It's the energetics, right? But the action of doing it lightens the load. So my beautiful friends, I hope this was helpful. And I will see some of you in the mentorship group. We start on Sunday. It's going to be the next 4 Sundays, but not Memorial Day weekend, because I know many of you are going to do family stuff and graduation stuff. So we will do it on Sundays this time around, and I hope to see you there. So until next time, I send you love. Bye.